attention really quickly. Get y'all's attention real quick. So we are in the technological age. So if you have some loved ones that are interested in seeing the graduation and they're not here, they can view it on our Wilson Academy YouTube. It is streaming. It is live. So even if you want to see it on your phones, you can go to the Wilson Academy. Jeremiah. The Wilson Student Network on YouTube. The Wilson Student Network. If y'all want to go on and see it live stream, you can send it out on your group chats. I know you got family group chats. Let everybody know. Go to the Wilson Student Network and they can see the graduation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to receive our graduating class of 2025.
my shirt is bigger.
Write something.
He gave me something. I did last year.
Let us invoke the presence of our Creator. Good and gracious Creator, this is the day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Today is the culmination of years of work, years filled with challenges and triumphs, losses and laughter, friendships and growth. We thank you now, Creator, for getting us safely to this day. We thank you for the gift of family, friends, and teachers who have supported these children of yours and celebrate with them now, Creator. Please bless these graduates, every one of them, and fill them with the spirit of your love. We pray that as they go forth to set the world on fire, may they remember you in all things and in all people. May they continue to challenge themselves intellectually and share the fruit of their knowledge. And may they, through their ongoing growth in wisdom and grace, bring others to you as they share their talents in the wider world because they are Wilson warriors. We ask you to protect and guide these young men and young women for others throughout their lives. Let us love each other fervently and seek your will earnestly all the days of our lives. And because it is so, let us all say amen. Amen.
I am honored to welcome you to the 20th graduation ceremony for the Wilson Academy. 20 years of Black excellence, and this graduating class is no exception. That being said, please welcome to the stage our 16-year-old salutatorian, Mr. Pharaoh Thomas.
Good morning. Good morning. Say it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. First, I want to thank all the family and friends who came out. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now let's clap it up for Mr. Byron, Ms. McKee, Mr. David, Mr. Keith, and the rest of the staff. Last but not least, please applaud your class of 2025.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not the most talkative person, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you. To my fellow graduates, while we are moving on to the next level and we'll be experiencing a whole new world, I ask that you don't forget the world that you came from. I ask that you remember the people, experiences, and places that shaped you. While you will meet and create relationships with many new individuals, I ask that you stay in touch with those closest to you. But my most important request is that you all stay warriors. As you continue to outwork the competition, focus on your academics, remember that you are all kings and queens, not be afraid to be independent, create your own opportunities, and demand respect everywhere you go. 2025, y'all, we did it!
Next is a very accomplished young man, scoring in the 98th percentile in the country for the ACT.
Yes, sir!
Maintaining a 4.0 or higher throughout his entire high school career, and managing Wilson Student Network are just some of the feats by our class of 2025 valedictorian, Mr. Jeremy White.
Yes, sir!
morning, everyone. Good morning. As my good cohort and Beyonce enthusiast Carter said, my name is Jeremy White, and it is an honor to stand before you as the valedictorian of the Wilson Academy's graduating class of 2025. Before I begin, I would like to thank the greatest school team I've ever had the pleasure of working with. That being Coach Eric Thomas, Mr. David, Ms. Thomas, Mr. Keith, Ms. Weeks, Ms. McKee, and Dr. Daniels. You are all more than just teachers in school security. You're role models. All the diverse skills and knowledge that you've each instilled in us. Your personality and know-how on navigating this world has guided me and my classmates time and time again. I speak for every graduate here today when I say thank you for everything you've done for us. Now, Mr. Wilson. There's a lot of things I can say about him. To his daily morning messages of empowerment, to his versatility in the classroom, and even his mediocre cooking on school positions. He made us eat some burgers for the senior trip. Now, despite that last point, he's still a well-accomplished leader, teacher, entrepreneur, a father with a family whose ability for high achieving knows no bounds, and most importantly, a mentor and a friend. I think it's safe to say that Byron F. Wilson and the Wilson Academy are both exemplary examples of the phrase Black Power. And now to my parents, Mom and Dad. I could be up here for hours, and I won't finish with you guys. Throughout my entire life, you two have given me nothing but unwavering support, love, and sacrifice. You two have ingrained greatness in me, countless words and speeches of encouragement from my younger days that have led me to this point. You have always taught me that this journey of life is not a sprint, and that I should always be in pursuit of being the best version of myself. Mom, Dad, and Jared, my day ones as my dad would call it. My life would be half of what it is if I didn't share it with you all. So to you I say, I love you, now and forever. Now for our graduating class, we have all walked our own unique paths to get to where we are today. And it's hard to believe that our journey here together is coming to an end. But think of it like this. Today doesn't mark the closing of a chapter, but the beginning of an entirely new book. Meaning that despite this pivotal moment, there is greater prosperity waiting for all of us. Whether it be through our academic or athletic talents, we have been prepared to push boldly towards our destiny. As you embark on your new journey, let every aspect of the Warrior Battle Cry lead you in everything that you do. Again, to the class of 2025, let's celebrate this moment. But while we have earned every bit of it, we must know that there is still work to be done. Good luck to you all, wherever the road may take you, and never stop being great. And to all of our parents and family who came near and far to be here today, I speak for everyone again when I say thank you. Your unwavering support and genuine love is what is most important to people like me and the rest of our class. Thank you again for everyone. Thank you again to everyone, and please do not hesitate to celebrate your graduates. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
At just 25 years of age, an inspired young man from Akron, Ohio by the name of Byron F. Wilson opened a school. This school is known as the Wilson Academy. When asked the toughest lesson he learned about leadership, Wilson answered, and I quote, "Leaders don't get to have bad days. People are relying on you. You just get it done." Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for the founder and the headmaster of the Wilson Academy, Byron F. Wilson.
I don't know that I need this, welcome you guys to the Wilson Academy. This is the 20th time I've done one of these, so this is a very special class. This is our 20th graduating class for the Wilson Academy. I could not think of a more appropriate group of young people to be that special class. This class has a unique distinction of earning more scholarship dollars than any class in the history of the Wilson Academy. So, for you guys to be here, that means that you believe in one of these young people. And if you know anything about me, if I'm talking to you, I'm probably talking about my students. And so the fact that you're here supporting them means more to me than anything. Please understand that although it's time to let go of our seniors, they will still need you. They will still need your guidance, your encouragement, your correction, and even though at times it will feel like they're not listening to you, which they may not be, they do hear you, and it matters. They will still need you, and most of all, they will still need your money. I didn't want you to think that this was the end of it. It's not. I'm still spending on kids in college. All right, so, at this point, I'm not really talking to you guys, parents. For a second, I need to address my class in 2025. You don't need to leave. I'm just letting you know you can listen. I'm talking to you guys right now. So to my class of 2025, there are 4 things, and all my alumni who are in here in the house, make some noise, alumni. If you thank you for showing up. I love you. There are 4 things that I tell every graduating class, so you get to hear it now. The first thing, number 1, is very simple. Don't have a baby. There you go. No contest. Having a baby will significantly hinder absolutely everything you are trying to do at this stage in your life. Do not have a baby. All right. That's it for number 1. Number 2, I think we're clear on number 1. Number 2 is tough because you guys come from a small environment, right? So be careful with number 2. Everybody is not your friend. This is the first time for some of you where you will encounter somebody who actually means you harm. That's different. Like, you guys may disagree here, but they're not really trying to hurt you, but now you may actually encounter people who literally mean you harm. It's different. And the one thing that I always say, and I want you to remember, most people don't love you, they love your product. And when your product changes, the way they treat you will change. Always remember that. Number 3, you will not be defined by your victories. You'll be defined by how you respond to your losses. So we need losses to make us better. It's absolutely necessary. And the thing is, as my athletes will tell you, you learn a lot more from a loss than you do from a win. Always remember that. Now, this 4th thing, there's like 3 sub-things to the 4th thing, right? There's really only 3 things that you need to believe in, believe it or not, all right? And the first thing that you need to believe in is God. Now, I don't mean a Christian God, an Islamic God. I don't care whether it's God, Allah, Yahweh. It doesn't matter to me, but you have to understand that there is something greater than yourself. Whatever you refer to that entity as, you are going to come to a time in your life where, as smart as you are, as determined as you are, you don't have the answer. but you'll make it. And it is at that moment that you will recognize there is something greater than myself working on my behalf. Number two thing you need to believe in of the three is money. Believe in it. Why? Class of 2025, watch this. What is the purpose of money? Facts. The purpose of money is to make more money. We do have a financial education initiative here, if you guys don't know that. Money is not everything until you don't have enough of it. So make as much as you can and make it grow, because at the end of the day, the only people who say money doesn't matter is people who don't believe they can get it, and people who already have it and bought all the things that they desire. And the last thing that you have to believe in of the three is yourself. That's it. Now, I need you to be clear on this because I was scolded for years about this speech. There are people in your life who matter. There are people in your life who will love and support you. You don't need them. You appreciate them. They may love you. They may help you, but you don't need them. You were born alone. You'll die alone. You need you. You are the only person that you can predict. You are the only person that you can count on to act in your own best interest every single time. If you don't believe in you, who else will? And the beautiful thing is, if you believe in you, it doesn't really matter if anyone else does. Understand? All right, so that's it. Now I'm general population again. You guys can tap back in. Since I have this beautiful platform, I wanted to point out there's something very unique about this class. Other than the scholarship, there's a lot of things, but other than that, what is very unique, and somebody pointed out to me, is that our top students ended up choosing HBCs. And it's not that they didn't apply to PWIs. I don't want people to think, we're a predominantly black school, so that's not the case. It's not that they didn't apply. It's not that they didn't get in. It's not that they didn't get scholarships. It's not that they didn't go on the visits or like the campus and the facilities. It's just that ultimately they chose the schools that were best for them, and they were HBCs. But I know, because I hear the murmurs, I see the posts on social media, things get back to me. I know that there are a lot of people, black people, who don't believe that black students should select HBCs. And I know that some of that is preconceived notions that we have about them. But often, preconceived notions are inaccurate. For example, in film, in TV, in books, we always depict the devil as this large red monstrosity with sharp teeth and claws, big red guy with horns, scary looking individual. But for those of you in here who are Christian and maybe not and just read like myself, how does the Bible describe Lucifer? The Bible describes Lucifer as beautiful. In fact, it describes Lucifer as the most beautiful being that God ever created. I lend this to suggest that sometimes our preconceived notions are inaccurate. Some of the hesitation that you may have with the HBCs as facilities, they may not have, some of the nicer facilities. I'm certainly not referring to the likes of a North Carolina A&T State University. I'm certainly not talking about a Hampton or a Howard or any of those institutions, but I get it. But it's also important to understand why. The reason that the PWIs often have a nicer aesthetic is Because one, the history of America. And two, because we keep sending our best black students to the PWIs, particularly the athletes, and then they get TV contracts, and the TV contracts pay for facilities that look so nice that your schools don't get to benefit from. And if we're being honest, some of us don't believe in the HBCs because we've been subconsciously instructed that their things are always nicer than ours. Now, I do think there are some common things that I've heard that are valid, and I think it's very important that need to be addressed. And I'll do this quickly because there's a lot of kids. I know that's what you're here. What are you going to do? You going to leave? No. So, before I do this, I want to be clear, because if somebody records and posts this, then they'll take this part out. But I'm telling you in the room, the point of this is not to suggest that black students should not go to PWIs. I had the unique experience of going to the largest PWI in the country at The Ohio State University, but prior to that, I went to the largest HBC in the country, North Carolina A&T State University. So I have a unique dynamic in which I've experienced both and was an athlete in both. So I have a good perspective on this, and I do think that black students can have success at PWI. However, what I'm arguing today is that a PWI is in no way superior to an HBC. Are we clear on the thesis? Thank you. All right, so there's just three statements that I hear most commonly. You know, I gotta teach one more time. Here's the number one statement, well, number one on my list. I want my child to attend a school with more diversity. People have said that to me. I want my child to attend a school with more diversity. First of all, what you mean to say is, I want my black child to go to school with white children. And there's nothing wrong with that, but let's be clear about what you're saying, because diversity is defined as the practice or quality of including or involving people from a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds and of different genders, sexual orientations, etc. So this means that by definition, an HBC is no less diverse than a PWI. What are we really talking about? The average PWI is 13% black. The average HBC is 11.5% white. These are numbers, numbers are numbers. Second thing I hear most commonly, employers won't respect your degree the same when it's from an HBCU. Sidebar on that, if they're not respecting your degree because it's from an HBCU, it's because of the type of students that attend an HBCU. And if you go to a PWI, you're still that type of student that they don't desire. You just have a different label attached to you. But let me point this out about that. Since it's our job to make sure that our students have success at the next level, we regularly talk to employers about what they're looking for. And consistently, you know what employers tell us? They say, I would rather hire a kid from a no-name college who is in the top 5% of his class than hire a kid from a popular university who is in the top 50%. And do you know why? Because that kid in the top 5% is a winner. He strives to be the best wherever you put him, which means if I put him in my company, he will do the same thing. They're looking at the success you have, not as much as where you had the success. Some career facts about HBCs. I'm a numbers guy. HBCs only, I apologize. I may be using this acronym and you don't know. I should know. HBC stands for Historically Black College. The U would be university. So PWI stands for Predominantly White Institution. I apologize, I should point that out. So now, HBCs only account for 3% of all the colleges and universities in the country, yet are responsible for 20% of all black college graduates.
All right.
Over 70% of all black doctors went to an HBC. I feel like saying that again, that's high, 70%. So when you're sick, then you like the HBC. More than half of all black attorneys went to an HBC. More than 40% of all black engineers went to HBC, and most of them come from North Carolina A&T State University. Almost half of the black members of Congress went to an HBC. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms went to FAM, Shirley Franklin and Andrew Young went to Howard, Mayor Jackson went to Morehouse and North Carolina Central University, and of course, Kamala Harris went to Howard as well. And I won't even mention all the black billionaires like Robert Smith and Oprah Winfrey who also attended HBCUs. And the third thing that I hear, and this is the biggest thing, and then we can move on, you will get better and more opportunities at a PWI because they have connections that the HBCs don't. I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say about that. Do you believe that those connections are for you just because you are there? Maybe. But here's what I need you to understand about this. Agree or disagree, there is a difference between being admitted and being included. There is a difference between being admitted and being included. There is a difference between being admitted and being included. Now, I was at Ohio State, 70,000 students at the time. We found our group. We're at Duke a lot. They find their group. Well, you all that were awful on the trip, they shared with you and students at North Carolina how under attack they are. We won't talk about that, but you all were there. You find your group. But I'm going to ask you this, ladies, and I just want you to think about this, ladies. You got an option. Let's say there's a millionaire boyfriend. I'm not going to say husband because your motivation could be to divorce him and take half. So I'm just going to say boyfriend. I know none of you would do that. It's something I saw on TV. There's nobody in here for sure. All right, so you got two options for a boyfriend. Boyfriend one is a millionaire. The millionaire comes millionaire toys. A beautiful home, luxury car, he can buy you all kind of stuff, but he doesn't really pay you that much attention. And he buys you things, but they're generic things. It's an expensive bag, but it's not what you really want. He never puts any attention into understanding how you work, what you would actually want. Doesn't really consider your specific needs. And you got another guy, makes $100,000 a year. He's not broke, I mean, he's not the millionaire. But he always takes time to find out what your needs are. And when he gives you a gift, he gives you a gift that's based on something you said a long time ago, and he realized you needed it, and he knew you would love it because he's invested time into figuring out what your specific needs are. He may not have as much money, but he spends all of it that he doesn't have to spend on himself on you. Now you tell me, ladies, which guy you prefer? Some of y'all still want the millionaire. You don't have to do that. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with the other one. I can change him, buddy. The bag is nice. He don't have to know. I'll make myself like it. All right. Fair. It's all right. It's hard out here. I ain't mad at it. Okay, so look. At the end of the day, man, we teach our students to make the decision that's best for them. And so I thought I would take that time to stop some of the bashing that I've seen. So for now, we start to get to the part where you all came here for, which is to hand out some diplomas. Now, if you've never been to a graduation at the Wilson Academy, we are different. There's no AI reading your name as you race across the screen and then run across the stage, and then they say, don't you demonstrate it, don't move, and anything. No, that's not that. So actually, we dedicate a small portion of each ceremony to each graduate before I hand them their diploma. Now, there's a lot of you guys, so I can only spend so much time talking about you, but you know what it is. So I personally put all of the diplomas in the covers and all of that. It's not a big feat. sign them and seal and stamp them. And when I'm doing that, I look at each student's name and I reflect. Because what is not lost on me is this room. People out here standing to see kids transition academically. I've had basketball games where there's no seats, but this is an academic event, and that means so much more to me, that you all are in here packed. I appreciate that. So, when I look at your names, I'm thinking, first of all, each name represents a family who trusted me to develop their most valuable asset, which is you guys. That is never lost on me. And the second thing, when I look at your name, I say, what did you contribute? Because the fact of the matter is that each of you put something in that you leave behind, and it makes us better. There are some things that you all will do and say and create and manage that kids will benefit from 100 years. They'll never know you existed, but you did that. So when I look at your names, I look at contribution, and my theme for this morning is, what was your contribution? All right? Okay. All right. So this is like kind of in alphabetical order, but not at certain points you'll figure it out. So let me make sure I have done this in as organized a fashion as I think yes I have, maybe. Still early. First up is Mr. Jeremiah Bowman. All right. JB is graduating with high honors. And he is going to be saying War Eagle at the University of Auburn. And he's actually an athlete there, a basketball player at Auburn is very difficult to do. And his major, which I really had to look this up because I didn't believe it was what it is what it says, agricultural communications. Right? I'm like, Jamie, what is this? What is your major for real? And then I looked down and said, it's exactly what it says. They have to communicate nutrition, distribution, opportunities for farming. Farming is really the core of the nation, to be honest, so I get it. So that's not going anywhere. So good job. So for JB, he hasn't been with us as long as some of the other students, but he certainly made his mark. He's got this strange shot. Have you all seen him play basketball? Yes. It looks like when he's shooting, he's becoming injured every time he's shooting. And I'm like, just go in the corner and he's shooting. He's fine. You know, but it goes in. I should have said that part first. I'm sorry. It goes in, but you also look like you're hurt. Okay, so and he has this strange rivalry with Tamil. I don't understand it. Oh, good. All right, so I don't need that. He has this strange rivalry with Tamil, which is very bizarre. It doesn't matter where they are. We were on the senior trip playing kickball. The game was all fun and light. Here, these two going back and forth. It's very strange, but they really do love each other. It's like a big little brother relationship. I don't know who the big brother is. Seems like a little brother argument. What I would say that you have contributed, I'm going to move this back so I don't embarrass myself. Still early, it still may happen. What I think he has contributed is consistency. It's consistency. It's do what you are supposed to do. That seems very simple, but if you think about it in your jobs, in your family, in our government, how many people just do what they're supposed to do? Do what you're supposed to do. Come to school on time. Even on days with some of the other seniors, they've had like 10 skip days this year. I don't understand if they get them. You do it one time. JB still comes to school. He's always in uniform. He's consistent. And at the end of the day, okay, oh, I got cord down. And at the end of the day, it is that consistency that makes us great. That consistency can supersede talent, which he also has. So for that reason, I appreciate your contribution of consistency. And I'm going to give you some paperwork to show us all how much we appreciate you. This is the part, when I call your name, you're going to come up and get your diploma. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you and present the diploma to Mr. Jeremiah Ira Boat. Y'all tearing up too early. I mean, it's very early. It's not early. Okay, Dasani Bramwell. Dasani is graduated with high honors. And she is going to the Swamp, LSU. This is another person with a unique major, but she's always talked about this. This is seriously a thing. It is poultry science. Poultry, I know, birds, there's a science. So, yeah, so that you can eat chicken and not die, so poultry science, there you go. All right, and she's also minoring in accounting. Accounts are actually very important as I'm finding. All right, so here's the thing about Dasani. Also fairly new to the program, but no less one of us. She's one of the most kind individuals that I've met. And I think kindness is undervalued. I really think it's undervalued. When you think about just your everyday life, how effective is kindness? How much better is your experience when you go to the DMV and they don't seem angry that you exist? How much difference does it make, right? If they tell you you got to throw your lotion away at TSA, but the person was kind about it. I'm sorry, we can't. See how that's different? Oh, it's like, you know, you should have had his lotion. See that? You see how the person, see, you didn't mind. So, the kindness is actually going to take you pretty far. And here's the thing. Dasani is one of those kids who participates very well. I appreciate you. Several of you attempted to impersonate volleyball players this year. You were one of those individuals. I appreciate you guys for that. Which, to be on an inaugural team of any sort means you're probably not going to be very good. Not always, certainly was the case with us. But you improved. And you wore it with pride. I actually was proud of the girls, seriously. You didn't even know the rules and you actually did pretty well. So I'm very proud of you guys. She has been instrumental in a lot of the school events, quietly. I appreciate that. Going to pick up some stuff that y'all supposed to sell, picking up stuff at the last minute. And I appreciate you for that, Ms. Ivy. Here's what I think you left. I think you left a message for the students in the future, and that is find your voice. Find your voice. I'm only going to be in your business so much on stage. But I am proud of the way that you found your voice. I am proud of the way that you said no to the sign. It's my voice. And it takes a certain degree of courage to be able to do that, to be able to overcome your vulnerability and be strong. And the fact that you've been able to do that in high school, it makes me feel so encouraged about you going down to Louisiana. And so, for your contribution of Find Your Voice, I'm going to award you with this diploma. But you also earned it academically. And without further ado, I award this diploma to Ms. Dasani Demaya Bramwell. I will do my best. Jeffrey Burns. Jeffrey Burns graduates with high honors. And he will be pursuing coding at Georgia State University. Congratulations, Jeffrey Burns. So, Miss McKee is going to struggle because, Jeffrey has some learning differences, and we decided at the Wilson Academy that we were going to be a program of holistic development, and that when we have students who have learning differences, we are going to accommodate you to some degree, but we're also going to hold you accountable and treat you like everybody else. And we've done that. And Ms. McKee is a big reason that he's sitting here today. And I can't thank her enough for the patience and time that she put in. The class we had started Team Silver. And what you've been able to do, Jeffrey, is incredible. I don't know if you guys realize that. I don't know if there's a more popular student at the Wilson Academy than Jeffrey Burns. I've always described him as a rock star. And so there's something that I think the statement that he contributes is, I am what I say I am. I am what I say I am. Jeffrey has come in with his energy, and he has become that star because of who he is. As a story I will tell briefly, I'm trying to hold it together. So when Jeffrey was young, and we were in a different facility, we were in, it was really a house that we had converted to a school building. And there was a steep little incline to get from the property to the street. And Jeffrey used the bus service. The bus came and picked him up after school. And one of our students, Craig James, every time that bus would come, Craig would come in the room and get Jeffrey and say, "Let's go, Jeff, let's go." And they would sprint up this hill and get on that bus. And what I say to you, Jeffrey, it's time for you to run up that hill again, boy. So, before I embarrass myself and my family a bit, I would like to present this diploma to Mr. Jeffrey Matthew Burns. right, let me get myself together for a second. A lot of allergies. And no, allergies. Be changed. I told them change these filters so many times without stuff flying around. Okay. So this next young man, Caleb Cameron. What that also means is going to be a lot of phone calls because they're going to see your contract. Okay, all these people are saying, hey, you know, my back been bothering me. All right, Caleb graduates with high honors. And he will be studying accounting and playing basketball at Indian River. And so, now, for those of you who don't know, the community college, so basketball has changed significantly. And because of the money, you have to move in the way that's most financially advantageous for you. And for him, Indian River was the best route to the bag, which is what we're doing here. And also the best route to development so he can get as much of the bag as possible. If you have seen Caleb play, you know he is in fact the truth. So we don't need to have that discussion. What we do need to do is embarrass you a bit because that's the type of thing I like doing. So, I will say this, as loved as he is, if there was a book entitled What Not to Say to Your Girlfriend, he certainly has authored it. He has done all the research. He makes up the study group that was used for the data in the book, and he is also promoting the book. He does all those things. I have never, it's uncanny. I just don't, I don't say you're young, but what? Okay, so, however, it still seems to be successful. I guess it doesn't matter. I should study your book. Now, what I think you have contributed is work in the dark, win in the light. Work in the dark, win in the light. I remember when he was an 8th grader out here getting bodied with the older guys. And I don't know when it was that he became able to jump so high. I didn't really see when it was happening because he was working in the dark. And then one day, in the early game, they just threw the ball anywhere. He going, oh, you going to get it like that? I didn't know. But the fact of the matter is, although obviously there's some genetic influence, he works really hard, early, late. He works hard in the dark so that he can win in the light. And as you see, he is well loved and has been rewarded for that work that he has done in the dark. He's a legacy. You got, I don't know, like 1,000 brothers. I'm not even sure how many brothers you have, but one of them seems to graduate every year. So here we are again, Caleb. And also, you have dealt with the pressure that some of us deal with when you have a parent on staff. People question your accomplishments. All my daughters, they get killed with it. Coach E, I mean, Pharaoh guy, everybody gets that. And I think you have handled it with such grace and maturity, and I appreciate that maturity that you've shown. So for Caleb and your contribution, for how well you work in the dark and how bright you shine in the light, I'm gonna give you a diploma. Very good. Okay. I used to do this and I was taller than everybody, but now a lot of them look at me in the eye or looking down like this next person, Mr. Tamil Green. Back when we were sorry, I was following everybody. It is too late now, we're good now. Also going to Indian River. He's going to be majoring in sports medicine, which is good. Always going to be there. I would say this, man. The thing I'm most impressed about Tamil is that his personality matches his size. Huge personality. And I think what you have learned, the contribution that you left and what you have learned is that there are no shortcuts. Tamil came in like on my 600-pound life. Came in, talked about it, if I don't eat, you know, I die. Very heavy, you know, his ankles and knees are like, bro, can we? So, however, he is much slimmer now, as you see. Give him some love now. And listen, so the big man still got to eat, and so that requires consistency, denial, focus. Because right now, man, he's almost there to making a lot of money and changing. I know your mama like that. Changing your family's life forever. And the thing is, man, wonderful kid, wonderful basketball player, except when we play Grayson. Wonderful. But wonderful human being. And I think what I appreciate about you, Tamil, is that you have some untapped leadership. You have a Shaq-like appeal. And Shaq is making so much more money now off the court than he ever did because, to be honest, of his personality. And I think you had that type of potential. I'm proud of you, I love you, and for your contribution of There Are No Shortcuts, I'm going to award you this. You know, one of the pleasures of doing this is seeing his middle names. I was unaware that Unique was spelled with an E, but it is for him. But I like that, man. We are always creative people. Next up, been with us a little while, man. Jackson. That's a lot of man. Okay. Jackson graduated with high honors. Congratulations, Jackson. He is going to Xavier University in Louisiana. And he will be majoring in public health. All right. Y'all need to, y'all need to clap for public health. Y'all got to do that. Y'all losing some Obamacare there, you'll be thinking of. Okay, now. First of all, he is not a left tackle. He doesn't play football. And it's interesting, when I met him and his mom, she was staunch about that because I think everybody will always go up to him and say, why do you want to play football? Which is a valid question. But he doesn't, because he's not. He doesn't have to. He's not defined by his size. He's defined by his character. So he's not a left tackle. Might have left a little bit of money on the table there, brother, but it's too late for that now. So I love Jackson, man. Jackson, when we were on the trips, I introduced Jackson to the food tax. It's the trip food tax. Trip food tax is Buckets know what it is. There's some people in here, they know what the tax is. Okay, I got to tax you. Okay, I really don't want your food, but I had to take some of it. Just tax. Just a little tax. They have some cookies out. Okay, why you leave them out? You must want me to have the cookies. You had a space to put the cookies. I thought you was leaving them for me like Santa Claus. Anyway, we had a great time, man, on the trip with him, just being in the building. He's one of those kids that, so every year, there's a student from me that makes it hard to come in on Monday. So he's that student for me this year because he's always here first. And coming in and not seeing Jackson here is going to remind me that these babies are gone. And that's difficult for me. Every year I lose kids to college. Believe it or not, I look at these kids like, I love them. And I think what he has contributed is a citizenship quote of, it doesn't matter that it wasn't yours, pick it up anyway. He could leave that for all the students for all time. I know it's not yours, I'm asking you to pick it up. Jackson is that guy who will come in, what we need to set up the stage. We got debate today, okay, I got it. You need some chairs, you need some tables. Not once, and I'm a girl dad, so you know the response, like they're doing it, but they certainly seem upset about it. And they're not hustling. He's never been upset, didn't suck his teeth, didn't roll his eyes, and he was hustling. And then asked, are we good or do I need more? Beautiful young man, that's a testament. Mom, you did a great job. You did an outstanding job. And so, for that type of citizenship and consistency, I appreciate your contribution, I love you, and now I'm gonna give you some paperwork. I would like to present this diploma to Mr. Jackson Ryan. Okay. Well, Kennedy Okpara. Kennedy has not been with us as long, but he's also graduating with honors. And although his major at the time was undecided, he does know where he's going, and he is going to be attending and playing basketball at Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, what I will say, man, is if you haven't been following, you don't understand how the dynamic of sports has changed. It is really difficult to go straight from high school to a Division I basketball program as he has. It's very, yeah, you can clap for it. It's actually hard. It's such a hard read. And the reason it's so difficult now is because we have something called the transfer portal, where kids can leave and go to another team like every year. And so it puts colleges in a position to where, why go get this high school kid, not ready for college life probably, not physically developed, where I can get a kid who is at Duke or Alabama or Kentucky who's just looking for a better opportunity. And so portal is killing the high school kids. I have a friend that's an AD, and they haven't pulled a high school kid in 3 years now. So at the end of the day, for him to do that, and JB was able to do it as well, it's actually really difficult. Very difficult. So props to him. So here's what I would say. The final memory I have of him is his icebreaker technique. You know what his icebreaker is? He does magic tricks. Which I thought he was joking at one point, but he was very serious. It was actually pretty good. I was like, let me do that again. Let me see. Figure it out. He's actually pretty talented. And he's actually pretty bright. But what I will say is, I think your contribution, Kennedy, is block out the noise. He's really good at blocking out the noise. He's unfazed. What I mean by that is, if you've ever had a teenager, you know all of them are good at blocking you out. It is how they live. But he's not doing that. He is listening to what you're saying. It doesn't mean he's going to do it, but he is listening. He's strong-willed and strong-minded, and once he decides what he thinks is the best path for him, he does that right or wrong. And at the end of the day, none of us can tell the future. So one of the best things you can have is conviction. Whatever I do, if I win, I'm going to win. If I crash and burn, I'm going to crash and burn. But I'm going to do what I decided to do, and I can stand on it. And I've always been impressed with, Kennedy, your ability to be unfazed. And that type of poise not only is what you need to be a great athlete, but I think to be a successful man. And I am immensely proud of you. And I appreciate the time that you gave us. I wish I would have had you sooner, but it is what it is. And because we love you, because we appreciate that contribution, we give you this. This ambassador name, this is Mr. Atiku Kennedy III. Y'all always know how to game for KOs on it. He makes that first turnaround baseline jumper, then yeah, we good. And after that, if you miss that first one, it's taking 5 minutes to get back focused, and he balled it. Great job, man. I'm really proud of you. Okay. Jaden Robinson. Jaden is graduating with high honors. She will be attending Kennesaw State University and will be a part of the nursing program. Now, I'm going to say this. I think Kennesaw is one of the most undervalued institutions in the state, by far. Just in terms of what they offer for the price, they have 2 campuses, because they have a STEM campus and then a general campus. They're consistently in the top 10 in dining facilities ratings. And when we go to local employers, particularly in the STEM fields, they hire a lot of KSU grads. So I think it's a great institution. And they got some heat coming in from the basketball team. So they're growing. I'm really proud that she chose Kennesaw State. And also, I'm proud of you, Jaden, because I don't know if you guys know, when you do nursing, it's like 2 schools. So you still have to get into the nursing program as well. And so I applaud her for choosing something that's an additional challenge. You have to believe in yourself to show up and make sure you still get into nursing. So kudos to you. One of the things when I mention that is sometimes people assume that when people are quiet that means that they lack confidence, and that's just not the case. But she grew into that. And I saw you grow into that with debate. Debate for us here is very dramatic. We do take it seriously. And Jaden, the first time she debated, I won't say awful, terrible, or horrible. I would never say anything like that to describe a child's efforts. But it was awful, terrible, and all three simultaneously somehow. She was quiet, nobody could hear what she was talking about. I said, it's time. Like, if you don't know the answer, move on, but it's really bad, really bad. One of the worst things. However, let me tell you what I respect about her. Because she didn't walk away. No one would have blamed you had you walked away during the time when you were on stage. This is not me. It's not, okay, have a seat. No, I I am so proud of you. Because I'm serious. Let me tell you what makes it so special for me is that she sought help. She said, Mr. Barnes, how can I get better at this? And we worked on it. And I said, okay, this is what you do. This is how you construct it. And I watched her. And by the end of the season, she was so much better. She wasn't embarrassing herself and her family anymore. She sounded cohesive. You could actually hear her. It was outstanding. And I saw that dramatic turnaround. And what you learn about Jaden is that, again, just because somebody's not talking all the time doesn't mean they don't have anything going on. And I think your contribution, I quoted your contribution, Jaden, as, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me. Which she always does. And I think if more kids will come in and say, I'm going to just do me, because nobody can do a better version of me than me, they will have more success. And so for your contribution and for your growth, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to give you this paperwork. The diploma is presented to Ms. Jaden C. Robinson. All right. Now, apparently, there's another Robinson sitting here. Jordan Robinson. Now, if you hear me ever refer to these students by not their actual names, it's because I don't really call people by their actual names. So, SharePlan, I appreciate you. Okay? I appreciate you. I love you. She has graduated with honors. Now, this is what I love about her. She is going to Chattahoochee Tech to learn aesthetics, to become an esthetician. Now, so let me tell you why I'm impressed by that. I really am. Man, everybody comes in and they look at a school as an elite academic institution and they're saying, all right, well, how many Ivy League kids you have? We have kids that got into Ivy League schools. We have kids going to everything in between. But that's never been our goal. It's never been my goal. My goal has been to look at a student and that student say, what do I want to do? What are my skill sets? What is my passion? And where can I have success? And how can I get to the bag? That's what we're trying to do here. So I admire you because you are like, no, I'm not trying to sit and waste time. I know this is what I want to do. I want you to teach me that so I can go get paid. I love you for that. I love you for that. And so one of the things I thought was cool. So on our senior international, it wasn't a senior trip, but our international trip this year to India, and that was their first time traveling with us. I thought that was really cool because I don't think people knew a whole lot about you before the trip. It was kind of like a coming out all at the end. But I think that was beautiful for you to come out. I remember I told them, okay, let's be downstairs at 8, and her and her sister had all of their bags packed. Well, we just got here yesterday. We're not checking out. She's going to eat breakfast. What are you doing? She's going to eat, and then we're going to stay in India. Okay, so, but, I mean, she was back, though. Okay. I appreciate you. I think she's got this quiet individuality. You know, maybe a blue streak she tried to throw in her hair, a purple streak. She likes to be an individual. She does wear her heart on her sleeve. And she doesn't try to cut that off. If you're gonna cry, cry. Okay, we need to know you're upset. It's cool. So I love that about her, that in her quietness, she didn't quiet her soul.
That's right.
And I appreciate that. And so, your contribution is, it's okay to get to the bag. That's what I want everybody to know. It's okay to do that. I'm gonna hold on. Come up here, all right? I want to present this diploma to Miss Jordan C. Robinson. Okay, so now. Let's just get this Really, I did that on purpose just to see if she was going to freak out. Which she did not, actually. So good job. All right. Jeremiah Ruffin. Jeremiah Ruffin graduates with high honors. He will be heading to Texas to Trinity Valley Community College and will be playing basketball. And he will be majoring in computer science. For me, I call him the modern day Shaka. I imagine that's what Shaka Zulu must have looked like. To have been so lucky, I didn't have that. You just wake up, eat whatever, have abs and stuff. I had to like starve and almost die to get like 2 abs. Where you just eating Chick-fil-A and still, that's beautiful. Gifted athlete. The thing with him, so athletically, I've seen his growth as a human being, because there was a time where in the game, I would say, what we don't need here is a 3. And what that meant to me was Ruffin is definitely going to go down and shoot a 3. And he did. Sometimes he made it. You can't say anything about that. He did make it. But what I saw from him as he matured and evolved is understand the situation. His game became more patient. It used to be either he's standing still or 100%. And he understood pace. And that's the evolution of a young man. Because now he's going to take that same pace and apply it to his life. Oh, sometimes chill. Sometimes let's assess the situation. And that's what he's done. I've watched that maturity develop. That's been a pleasure to watch. Y'all ever heard the term the head of the snake? In the classroom, Ruffin is the head of the snake. Also to me. But he's the head of a snake. And what that means is he's what I call a leader in the ship. And he's always a leader, but sometimes he allows it to stay contained in this shell. But when he lets it out of that shell, he's a natural born leader. And if you want the class to improve, you gotta get Ruffin. If you want kids to participate in this event, you gotta get Ruffin. If you want people to be quiet, you gotta get Ruffin. He's the head of the snake. And I don't know whether you realize this or not, Ruffin, but that's what we call power, young man. You have power. Everybody doesn't have that. You gotta use that for good. You gotta use that. What he has done, and I will say this, and then we'll roll because I know it's a lot of people. What I saw you do, when you're somewhere and you're in the system, and you're like, okay, senior, it's gonna be all my time, and the way you said, now it's our time, the way you were able to put your team first at times, most of the time, the way you were able to put your team first, that speaks to your character. Because a lot of guys that you could pout and say, no, I want to take the shot every time, but you really did try to win the games. And that shows me that you're mature. I love you for that, brother. And for that reason, I think your contribution is be a leader, whether people think you are or not. When I say whether people think you are or not, I'm talking about in the classroom. You're much smarter than people think you are. Show them. For that reason, Jovante. Real talk, you should just go by Javante. I feel like you'll have a better chance of getting drafted than Javante Ruffin. I said a lot of Jeremiah's. I'm just saying, one that graduated tonight. I'm just saying. Go with Javante. All right. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Okay. Perrin Simpson. Pear graduates with high honors. And she also will be studying nursing, but at Howard University. Hopefully she will add to the long line of illustrious alum from the real HU. I apologize if someone is in here from Hampton. You're also the real HU, I'm sorry. Okay, so, man, all right, let me do the best I can. So, when I met Pear, she came from California, and yes, from Cali, and I found out that she was on one of those competition cooking shows. Yeah, it was, she did in fact not win. But she was smiling, and you know, that's part of it. And you did turn in your dish on time, so that's something. Okay. All right, now, I want to thank Pear. If this was a movie award show, I would award her for leading role. Best impersonation of a volleyball player this season goes to Pear Simpson. It is so, genetics are so strange. Because you would say, okay, your parents are both athletes, then she should be wrong. It's so crazy. Did you know you could get cut for a cheerleading team? Did you know that? I thought you kind of signed up and then if you loud, they kind of work with you. You can get cut. I would watch, I love her, but I would watch the game and I felt like I didn't do my job, that we didn't teach physics because I could never understand how do you think your body could be facing this way and then you hit the ball and it goes. I just don't, why did you think that was going to work? It's just so strange to me. I don't know what was happening, but let me tell you about her because she was out there, and that's really what we needed. We needed people to be willing to embarrass themselves so that we can have a day one. There's always going to be a day one. Pear is one of those people that I cannot replace. You just can't. You know. The amount of institutional memory, what she has contributed, the time that she spent here, the way that she's represented the program. If we had a Hall of Fame, she's first ballot. I would not, there's nothing I can do to replace her. That's all. If you guys understood, she has carried on a lineage, and she's done her part well. And the Mr. Byron Harasser team. Last year, Kara's here today. Kara did a very good job of harassing me. Now she's a student at A&T. And she passed it on to Pear, who did an outstanding job of harassing me. But they're harassing me because they want to get things done for the school. If you don't understand how we operate here, we empower our students. So if they want to do something, they come to me with a proposal. We sit down, we construct a budget. They make the phone calls, they make decisions. You know, there's some guidance, but it's them. They're running projects. the school dance, kids did that. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's what they do. And Pear and SPC, the amount of work that she put in. She's texting me last June about this spring formal that just passed. Like multiple times a day, like I'm not paying her. And I don't ever shut her down. Okay, cool, let's work on it. That's how much she cared. And what I would say, Perry, your contribution is, I make this school what it is. Kids have to understand that, man, it's not about the way you look and who's cool and all of that. I'm going to make the school what I want it to be. I'm going to put my energy in. We want this dance, I'm creating. We want this trip, I'm going to create it. You have embodied, I make the school what it is. And when I tell you I got some kids up here on this stage and I say they are the Wilson Academy, Paris Simpson is the Wilson Academy. So what I'm going to do before I embarrass myself, because it's actually really difficult for me. She's been here a long time. She does so much. It's crazy. It's very difficult, but what I have learned is it's got to be next man up. And so hopefully somebody is that next man up. But for now, I'm going to award this diploma to Ms. Perrin A. Simpson. All right? I really am doing a good job, to be honest. This is difficult. Genesis West. Now, you know what? I appreciate that, man, because when these kids graduate from college, you don't really get the chance to show them the love like this. Especially if you go to a larger school. My oldest daughter just graduated from North Carolina A&T State University last Saturday. And you got, like, real quick, you got to, scream for them because they on to the next name. And so don't take this for granted, man. Show them that love. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to pass out screaming so loud, hopefully if you're not too heavy or somebody pick you up and pass out. But do what you got to do. Okay. Jim. Genesis West. Graduate. Yeah. That's a good, you got a strong name. Beginning. Genesis High Honors. Graduate from High Honors. Studying kinesiology at Kennesaw State University. If you don't know what kinesiology is, it's sports science. Okay? You don't have to shake your head. I'll tell you, it's all good. No, it's sports science, and that's huge. And so, it's a big industry. I'm really proud of you actually for choosing it. So, what I would say about him is, I'm going to tell you what his contribution is first. Stay out of the way. He does a good job of staying out of the way. That's his little mantra. Let me explain what that means. Now, so for Jen, it's tough, and this is what I give him credit for. So you got these brothers playing basketball, right? And you're playing as well. but you're not doing what they're doing. You know, you weren't really blessed with the same height and skill, size, strength, speed, or jumping ability. Which is fine. But let me tell you what I'm so impressed with you about. Because how do I then contribute? And so now is, let me get these guys ready. Let me run this clock. Let me get the scoring table. Let me make sure everybody got what they need. Let me make sure we out on time. Let me make sure we organize. Like, how do you find a way to help the team win? And as a senior, no less. Now, a lot of kids would have been pouting, begging for something that they don't deserve. He didn't do that. He stepped aside, said, "Oh, y'all balling, but we need this. I can do this." That's what I love about him. I love that about Jen. Jen was probably, out of all the students, the most independent in his college choice. Most of them, there was quite a bit of counsel, not so much with him, because and I'm cool with that with him because he's actually pretty responsible, which is an undervalued asset for a young person. When I look at what Jen has been able to do in terms of maturity, I would say, while you aren't watching, I'm going to quietly craft a path for myself. He's one of our most beloved students. He's another one that, I don't coach you, y'all going to have to fill a lot of gaps. He's doing a lot of little things that you don't realize until you get to the game and it's not done and you got to find somebody to knock it out. You'll see when the season starts. But I love you for who you are and for staying out of the way and for always participating in all the school events and doing everything that you can to uplift us. I appreciate you, brother. And I'm proud of you for going to Kennesaw. I think it's a great program. All right? And if I get sports injury, then hopefully you got it. All right? And so, without further ado, what I tell the seniors, when people scream for you that loud, it means that they really love you or they are surprised that you graduated. Which one it is, but we're going to see. All right. Brielle Newman. Brielle's also getting to this bag. Now, I'm playing. She's going to start off and get her cosmetology license from Georgia Career Institute. Right. So, she apparently has some multi-step plan that I don't understand, but she's executing it. And this is what she's doing first. I like Brielle. First of all, Brielle has been here for a while. And Brielle is so small and slick all the time. I have to find out, where's Brielle? What are you doing, Brielle? But she's gifted. Brilliant. In fact, Brielle, you could have easily gone to college for free. You're gifted. I know you got your own path going on, but easily. I think when I talk about Brielle, let me ask y'all this. Gentlemen, particularly those of you from the north, when we go to the club, what's the first thing we do? I am in the south. You find your exits. The city of y'all is too safe. Because safe places is very safe. Where I'm from, the first thing you do in the club is find your exits. You gotta always know how to get out, and when they start shooting, then you can get out. Okay, so I am excited that none of you know that. That means that you have worked hard, placed yourself in better circumstances. Congratulations. That being said, Brielle always finds her exits, meaning she's always processing. When you look at Brielle, she's quiet, but it's not that she has nothing to say. She's always talking. It's that she's processing. She's processing. She's a processor. You can see that she's working things out. So whatever end it is, who knows? She's working it out. She's a critical thinker, which is exactly what we try to build, and it was in her already. I'm proud of Brielle because, and not to be too personal, Brielle, but I'm proud of the growth that you have had socially as an individual and finding who you want to be and standing on that. And I'm really proud of you kind of owning your identity and not worrying about what other people may think or say. And you started to run your lane and say, I'm a student, this is what I'm doing, that's all that matters. I appreciate you for that. And so, even though none of you do this, your contribution to the Wilson Academy is find your exits. Because I think if people can learn the process, always understand their environment the way that you do, that they will also be successful. So, for that reason, I'm going to award you and your family, because this is a family award, to be honest, with this diploma to Ms. Brielle Mariah Newman.
That's my niece. That's my grandbaby.
There you go, brother. That's it, though. There you are. There you are. There you are. It's important, man, that y'all seriously, like, show them love, because if you think about it, it's 13 years of school, and then like at least 4 more. Like, it's a long road. So show them some love, right? Next up, Trinity Zachary. Okay. She's graduating, of course, with high honors. And this is my 3rd student going to Kennesaw State University. And I want you to hear this major. She's majoring in biochemistry. That's one of those majors where people don't finish because they get to a class and then they change their major. No, I just major in business. Oh, I can't. Class is too hard. I know that you're not going to do that. Okay. So, I think I imagined, when I was younger, I imagined life as, at the beginning of your life, as God being somewhere and as having a bag of attributes, and then he just pass them out, right? And some people get some stuff, some people get others. And I feel like with Trinity, God didn't realize he had already gave her some stuff, and then he gave her more than he had to. I think Trinity is one of the most academically and athletically gifted individuals we've ever had. I don't know if I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody who could go to school for free as an athlete, but also as a student. Come on. And she can. I don't know if I've seen somebody with that type of ability. We are bringing back girls basketball next year, but it's so strange. Like, we won a state championship and then dissolved it. It was very, very bizarre. But on that team, Trinity was an 8th grader and was starting. But the thing is, that's not even her sport. I don't even think she played basketball, but she did. And was able to be the leading rebounder, and she's not really that tall. It's incredible. And she was also out there impersonating a volleyball player this year. And that last game at Jay's, you were not in the, really that's on you, Tran. I've been meaning to say this. I'm gonna say this first. If Tran would have been at that game, we would have beat Southwest Atlanta Christian. We had, well, on God, we would have beat them. However, Tran, I know you had something to do. We had. Trinity was holding down as a volleyball player as well. And I feel like any sport we would have had, she could have done it. But what she's done in the classroom, she's always worked up. She's always been doing work beyond her years. And I think for Tran, what I'm most impressed with, I'm going to give you her contribution quote that I think it is, have the courage to walk away. Have the courage to walk away. Now, I know some of you who know her are saying, why hasn't he mentioned swimming? If you would just be patient, let's get into it. I believe she got some state records still, maybe? No, we're going to go with that. You do. Oh, she actually does. She still has some state swim records. And when you spend a whole lot of time investing in a sport, and then also actually having success, one of the hardest things to do is to walk away from it. Trinity made the personal decision to, as a human, as a student, say, nah, I'm going to do something else now. Much to her parents' chagrin, because for any of you that have children in these elite sports, the most painful thing they can do and cut you so deep is you have invested all of this money, all them holidays you done gave up, all the mornings you could have, you don't know what I'm talking about unless you've done this. All the mornings, seem like you have always played at Sunday at 8, all of the practice hours, the training, it's stressful for us because we can't control the outcome, but we love you. Then you don't be listening to us. It is so stressful and draining. But you do it, and in the back of your mind, you say, it's all right. Because in college. Nope. Nope. And for her to have the courage and say, it's okay, I do other things, and I do these other things well. I respect her for that. So your contribution, have the courage to walk away. Now I need you to have the courage to walk up here and get this diploma. Trinity Chanel Becker. I know I can't say everything about these kids, but that was another member of SPC. Y'all gotta step up, man. We're losing SPC that's our student planning committee. And Pear and Tran, they have put in a lot of work to make some of these events happen. So hopefully you have set up a template for the next wave of students to be able to follow and continue to make the school better. Okay, we at the bottom two, but certainly not bottom. We are now at our salutatorian, Mr. Pharaoh Thomas. Of course, he's graduating with high honors, obviously. He is going to the house, Morehouse. So, Pharaoh's going to be a 16-year-old freshman. applied physics and mechanical engineering. This is the type of people that have to take real classes. You got about one semester where you can take Russian literature or basket weaving. After that, you actually take some classes. All right, so, man, I am so proud of Pharaoh. Like I said, you got the curse of a family member here as part of the family, staff family, coach, but I know you're proud. And it's hard for us, man, because, you know, and again, every time you do something, people are going to say, oh, of course it's better, of course it is. So, for you to have the confidence to own your success, despite that, I have to commend you, because it can be difficult to do that. It can be very difficult. Now, let me say this. I have watched this young man grow in a way that I have not seen. But before we get to that, I have to talk about something that I thought I knew, but I really discovered in India. We have an international travel initiative here at the Wilson Academy, so every year students go out of the country. So this year's trip was to India, next year we'll be in Brazil. No, we're not looking for chaperones. So what I learned, I thought I could eat. I thought that I could eat until I saw Pharaoh. And I love Pharaoh because no matter how much I eat, I don't have to feel bad if Pharaoh was around. Look at what Pharaoh ate. I can always defer to Pharaoh, but I can always trust him to ask if the food is okay. He may still eat it if it's not, but he'll be honest. What is cool about Pharaoh is his appetite for knowledge is as great as his appetite for food. And one of the things that you gotta understand, a lot of people don't know how it is these special kids are creating separation. His parents are very smart. That's a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I apologize if you're not ready to have a kid. It's your fault. However, that's some of it. That's some of it. But kids that separate themselves, they seek knowledge on their own. And the kids that separate themselves, remember this, please. The kids who separate themselves, when we give them an assignment, their job wasn't to turn in the assignment. Their job was to get something out of the assignment. They look at it differently. Those special kids that we've had, they're always, it's like, what can I do with this? They take everything we give them and put it in their tool belt. Whereas a lot of kids, they're just trying to get the grade. Pharaoh is doing things on his own. The work that he's done with the AI, like he's doing that on his own. Those are the special kids. Just like these kids that are playing basketball, training on their own. See how you're not making them go to the gym? Him in the classroom. Same thing. Same thing. And so what I give credit to him for is his growth. Because getting back to those international trips, you learn a lot about these kids on international trips, right? In Egypt, when we were in Egypt, Pharaoh cried every single day. I believe what did he see? Every day he cried about something different. Because if it was the same thing, I was like, well, this is just a challenge for his personal life. This is something he's dealing with. But this is you have a new cry-worthy challenge each day. It just was, he dropped his food, he cried. We're in Germany in the airport, we tell him to hustle before we miss our transfer, he cries. There's some random argument with his roommate, he cried. I don't even know what he cried about that time. But I hope this isn't embarrassing. I probably should have said that before I started talking about that. So, it is true. It's okay. But see, I know he's not embarrassed. You know why I know that? Because I've seen him dance. And so, obviously, there's no sense of pride I'm gonna carry it on. I'm just messing. Listen, you have to be a salutatorian, you have to pay. This is part of the deal, you must pay. Anyway, I love you, Pharaoh, and I love the way that you've developed. And to be honest, man, when I saw him doing this horrible, horrible dancing, and I can speak because people have accused me of not being a great dancer. First of all, I don't want to dance. I'm too busy. Sit down. Okay? That's why I can't dance. However, you also cannot dance, but you don't care, like I don't. You don't care, and you're just moving, and there's a lot of motion, and people jumping around, and it's a problem solved. Good job. But no, seriously, man, I admire and appreciate your confidence, and also finishing, man, top 6% in the country in your SAT. You contribute to the program, brother. Every time somebody think about us now, you contribute. You part of our heat while we sell your jersey. Kids like you, I'm telling you, all right? You box office, I love you, man. And so your contribution to me is win with humility. Because as much as he's accomplished, he's never been an arrogant kid. He's never put anybody else down, even though there's times he probably should have. He's never done it. He's always won with humility. So for that reason, brother, salutatorian, I'm going to award this diploma to the class of 2025 salutatorian, Mr. Pharaoh Adil Thomas. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. One of the things, man, I want to bring up. One of the things I want to bring up, man, is this. When I look down this list, and you don't get to choose your parents, but I see some strong black fathers on this list. I've seen you dropping off, picking up, emailing, supporting them and encouraging them. And that matters. That matters. I don't want to make anybody feel bad if your father's not around or whatever. That's not your fault, that's his. But when I look at the beauty of these black fathers that have put so much into some of our seniors, I want to thank you. Black fathers, if you're in the house, please stand up. Please stand up. Don't stand up right there. Say it too. And the reason I want, and this, our valedictorian is no exception. His father has been a great black father to him, Mr. Jeremy White Jr.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy is your class of 2025 valedictorian. Let me run the stat line for you, some stats, man. Obviously he's graduating with high honors. Okay, obviously 4.0. That's baby stuff, we're baby stuff. All right, he is majoring in data science. All right. Now, he has chosen Xavier University in Louisiana. And I'll get to why that is so significant. But Jeremy, as you know, 8 ACT, and the ACT is not a test that's local. It's not a test we make. We have no impact on it in terms of its creation. It's a way where I can compare a kid in Atlanta to a kid in Utah. And out of all the students who took the ACT in the United States of America, Jeremy scored higher than 98% of them. One of the things that I always try to make clear, I know that we have a great basketball program. We're trying to be great. We're not trying to be sorry. So we are trying to be great. But we have and always will be an academic institution. We do. We need Jeremys and Pharaohs. We need those kids who can stand up in the face of the nation and say, what's up though? They can say, what about your numbers though? Whatever you're talking about, let's talk these numbers. And then that's just the beginning. I am so proud of this young man. You know how, y'all, depending on what your algorithm is on social media, maybe you see these posts with kids and they say they earn, $500,000 scholarship, $1 million scholarship, and everybody goes viral, right? Jeremy is what, 2.4? 2.4 million? Man, come on. Clap for that. You can clap for that. And I will say this. I don't know if he's as poor a basketball player as Pharaoh is a dancer, but it's similar. Similarly. And yet, he did try. At the end of the day, man, I'm humbled by having someone so special. And I gotta talk to you, man, about this process. You have a young man who's made history, as he has, in several ways. Sometimes it's all happening once and it gets lost on you. I think when he's older and he has some little punk son that's trying to tell him he's better than him, I think as a dad, he's like, let's just compare notes, son. I think he'll do it then. But what's been so incredible about this process for him, for me, is the character that he is. He is quite a character. I think what I like about him is he's always had this attitude of, does that make sense? And if he thinks you're not making sense, he's not opposed to letting you know that you're not making sense. But before he was doing that, and he had this arrogant bravado, which I actually encourage, I have no problem with it. He was humbled in something we like to call debate. I have people say they want to sign up for debate. So it's not that hard to argue, but I don't know how to do it. It's Jeremy. Right? And Jeremy ran into this team of children. These two little girls who were 11 years old at the time. Now, to be fair, they're by no stretch of the imagination normal 11-year-olds. But they are still 11-year-olds. And so Jeremy goes into this competition. Children, I can beat these kids. No, you can't. They taught him the definition of debate. They taught him what it means to debate. And then not only that, there was a series of people after that displayed what that means. I'm excited for that because he needed to understand that regardless of how gifted you are, skill isn't always attached to gift. There's a process. And once you apply the gift to the process, then nobody can touch you. But you cannot skip that process. I am so proud of him in his selection because he had so many schools on the table. he ultimately chose one of the places where he could graduate, at least with a 4-year degree, and not have any money to pay to anybody. Which is the actual goal I want you guys to know. That's always our goal here. Can you graduate for free? That's what we're trying to do. And obviously he's going to do that. Oh, this was louder all this time? Okay. So, obviously he's going to do that, but the process. Jeremy had every type of school available to him. And watching him go through that process was interesting. And we actually took the time to say, what's important to me? And at the end of the day, what's going to benefit me? And when you can kind of go anywhere, it's somebody's always got a better football stadium. Somebody's always got better food. Somebody's always got better looking girls. I know that's actually a very important component. Somebody's always got these nice facilities, this manicured campus. But he made a good business decision. And to me, that's what a valedictorian is. Somebody who at this young age can make a solid business decision. And what I want to credit his parents with, and parents, I love you for this because I know that you had your feelings, but they let him decide. They said, let's get all the information. If this is what you want to do, I support you. And they had enough confidence in him to allow him to do so. It's good advice for some of you. Some of you, you should not have enough confidence in them. You should definitely step in. Say, this is not. But when your son is a valedictorian, you say, all right, I'm going to do this what you want to do. I'm proud of his selection. I'm proud that he's attended an HBC. If you learn anything about Xavier and what they've been able to accomplish, they have a pretty good stat sheet. I'm proud that he's getting ready to go into a new environment. But most importantly, and I told all the guys this last night, and I say this to him, and I'm confident because I've watched him this year, and I know he's going to do this, is, man, don't lose yourself. That's my biggest message to them. Don't lose yourself. Don't ever assume that other people's stuff is better than yours. You see somebody out here vaping, you know that's not you. You see somebody doing gummies and smoking weed, you know that's not you, even if it seems harmless. That's not what you do. You see somebody getting drunk, staggering to class, missing class, that's not what you did here. That's not what the shield represents. That's not who you are. I have watched him. He is the most stubborn individual, one of the most stubborn individuals that I've ever met. Let me give you a quick story about, this is defined stubborn. So we go on a trip, right? And I said, the 3 seniors on a trip, each night you guys are going to choose where we eat. Now, for whatever reason, Jeremy wanted to go to Burger King for his choice. And mind you, I have bougie kids, like they were choosing steakhouse. And, it's strange how much money they have, I don't understand. But Jeremy chose Burger King, right? Parent and Trinity complained so much that became somewhat of an insurrection against Jeremy's selection of Burger King. And we ended up compromising, I guess, and going to Chipotle. So I'm looking around after, we've been in there maybe 20 minutes. I'm like, where is Jeremy? This fool is laying in the van because he refuses to come inside Chipotle. He would rather lie outside in this cold van rather than eat the Chipotle that I was paying for, no less. As petty as that sounds, and it is immensely petty, I kind of like it. Because there's going to be a time, Jeremy, where somebody's going to present you with some Chipotle that's bad for you, if you understand what I mean. Somebody's going to put something in front of you that wasn't what you wanted to do. And you're going to have to go lay down in that van. And now at least I know that you do have the capacity to go lay down in a cold van and be hungry to make a stand. Actually, I love you for that. I'm proud of you for that. I really am. All right? I would think, man, what you've done for the program, when people see what you've accomplished, it allows other people to believe that they can go to a small black school and be an elite student, that they can go to college for free, that they can come from whatever background, that they can learn how to communicate with everyone. I want to say this too about Jeremy is that a lot of you feel like, not a lot of you, some people feel like, okay, we go to a black school, you're only black. Yes, we are black, unapologetically so. We communicate with everyone. And he's a great communicator. We have a lot of exposure. And because he's played soccer, there's no issue being in the minority. So he didn't have, probably would have been fine at a PWI. However, what I think is important to note is that you send a message, you can come here, be yourself, stand on that, and then you can also win. I love you. I will miss you. I will miss you rubbing it in people's face when you're better than them. Often does. I think he's made it almost a career to harass Pear and Trinity and Carter and all of the SPC. Enjoys doing that. You can call them and text them. They'll leave harassing you. But I love you, man. What you've done for the Shield, I appreciate you. And there will never be another Jeremy. Without further ado, I'm going to award this diploma to your your valedictorian. Let me say that again. I present this diploma to your valedictorian, #1 student, Jeremy Jamal G. Pretty reasonable if I just say something. 12:15, don't cry, okay? You still get to the buffet lunch. Whatever you're doing. Now, this is the cool part that I get to do to you guys. Warriors, please stand. Yeah, that's for you guys. You can stand up. Well, let me do this. I'm going to stand completely out of the way and then be loud. I'll let you get your picture. Now, you guys ready? All right. While the power vested in me as founder and head master of the Wilson Academy, I officially declare you graduates of the class of 2025. You may move your tassels. See, that's all the stuff I think I'm through. So what we're going to do, okay, I'm going to move away again, and I'm just going to say, graduates. And then you can throw, because they can video that part, right? And then just say graduates, and then you can throw that. All right, ready? Don't hit anybody in the eye. All right. Ready? Graduates. Well, stay for a second, and if the key is going to take us home, I need somebody more godly to pray. Go ahead.
best, obviously. So here, but we have a big canvas of a bunch of pictures of all of us and him from just throughout the years and everything, just to say thank you for everything he's done.
Let us all stand. Gracious and caring Creator, our source of light, we ask for your almighty hand to be upon these graduates as we send them forward. With their classes and grading now complete, may they strive forward in excellence in all they do. With the applause quieted, may they celebrate and lift up those around them. With the speeches concluded, may their voices rise up to pronounce peace and justice in the world. With the fanfare ceasing, may they find bliss in future endeavors and adventures. With advanced degrees and credentials in hand, may their achievements grow and enrich their communities. As the mighty Wilson Academy warriors, may they discover virtue and holiness in the midst of life's blessings as well as in life's challenges. As their careers commence, may they conduct their life's work with exceptional skill and integrity, inspired to go forth and set the world on fire from this day onward. And it is so in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior. Let us say amen. Amen.